Hey guys, let's to a guy by the name of Tennessee Brando. Very intriguing character. Very intriguing character. He goes into detail on Joe Biden, likes Joe Biden and everything, and how Joe Biden doesn't even attack his own people. It's an attack the Republican Party and the way in which he does things. And I wanted to break it down, a little context, how I see the world. I think that Biden speaking about John McCain and talking about how they were able to come up with some kind of agreement with Vietnam and just how McCain was held as prisoner and all this, but that they could work all these years later to come up with investment stuff between America and Vietnam. Basically, kind of like burying the hatchet economically, literally economically. And the John C. Brennan went and talking about how Trump attacks people and Trump attacked McCain. Let's be clear about it. John McCain was a warmonger, but I think that it was wrong. I think it is wrong to disrespect the dead, and I think that God bless the dead. But he was a warmonger, and it's because he stood up to a racist talking about Obama. It's because his daughter stood up against Trump and January the 6th and those kind of things. I think those are people who are part of this earlier period of Republican politics of like, we didn't go out here and show dick pics of Hunter Biden kissing on some woman in Congress. We didn't go in Congress with a snowball and throw it at somebody to make fun of climate change. We didn't go into Congress chambers and scream at somebody and call their kid a transvestite. We didn't do those things. There was an era where those things weren't done, and most Americans acknowledge that's wrong. That's wrong, and it's below the level of what we appreciate and what we accept from our elected officials. You're there to do the nation's business, people's business. You're not there to, you know, act like an idiot. That era is over with. And Trump's comments about John McCain and the fact that most Republicans are okay with that. I think Trump said maybe he's looking up at us or something. I mean, I think that era is over with, and I think that they don't care about that. And I'm not even saying that they believed in that stuff then, but there was just a certain sense of legitimacy back then. There was a we have to act serious, and now it's like Tommy Tuberville's like, I'm just not going to accept any promotions in the military to higher level because the Navy's reading poems on the intercom, and then they calmed down the Marine Corps, a heart attack. I didn't need anyone to explain to me how that's dangerous for you to do that, for you to kneecap the military in this way. I think that maybe years ago we could figure things out. We could figure things out a lot quicker now too. Of like like I know now Reagan spoke to the Iranians when they had the prisoners held, Operation Eagle Claw and all that back in the 89 or 87. And we know that Reagan told the Iranians not to release them under Jimmy Carter. They released them under his reign, that they'd get a better deal. Who knows? If that hadn't happened and they went to bat with Jimmy Carter, maybe he would have been reelected. We'll never know. So I think that we're better able to get to the bullshit. People who want, it's easier to kind of dig the Republican lies and like figure out that that's not what that means, or you didn't sign that bill, or you weren't even in chambers when it happened. Like, it's easier for us to figure out the bullshit and, divide rightly the truth, wheat from the tare and all that stuff. We're able to do that, whereas years ago they were able to just lie. Like Trump talking about he come up with something better than Obamacare. Never did. We're able to figure out things quicker. I just think that era that Tennessee Brando is speaking about is over with. and it was over with I'd say more than 10 years ago. I was over with sometime during Obama's era, where they screamed at him, Mr. President, you lie, and just that era that ended. That type of legitimacy ended. You can't get it back, because Republicans don't even know what people want. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene up there reading the stuff Biden's trying to do, and saying that Leonard Baines Johnson is a communist, a Marxist socialist, and that they're both socialists. And it's just, so you're telling people now that Social Security is socialism and communism. What I'm saying is, those things may be technically in your world. You may find me some half convoluted expert out here somewhere that can say, yeah, it's communism. A lot of Americans like Social Security. A lot of Americans like Medicare. If you're just going to jump on everybody who puts forward things that are wildly acceptable and wildly wanted, if you're going to do that, then what you're doing is you're taking away power from that word. And I know Martin Taylor Greene is too stupid to understand the long-term consequence of that. That most Americans don't even know what the word communist, don't even know what communism is, or Marx. They don't even know. They don't have to know what those things are. But if this is what you're going to do, that anything people want, they're like, yeah, I like that. Anything that they want, you're just calling it all communism. Then, like, over time, you're making people not like your party, and they're not going to like the things you're trying to put forward. And people will remember that. Yeah. They will remember that. People will remember that you put forward things, or you attack things. That sometimes I think Republicans doing this kind of stuff, like Tommy Tuberville in Alabama with the military, like, this stuff hurts them. Like going after Clinton with Monica Lewinsky. We know that Democrats won big the next year. I wonder if they realize that you pushing this moral shit on people when they can't even pay their bills. Like, people don't forget that. They don't, because you're going beyond politics now, and you're just saying that I'm not here to do things people want or make your lives better. I'm here to push forward an ideology that in many ways harms you and your families, and I'm going to keep doing it even when you overwhelmingly ask me to stop. That's their politics. You call it communism, you call it socialism, you call it whatever the hell you want. But it just that ain't gonna win, Chief. That won't get it. And as I said, that was an era that he's speaking of, Tennessee Brando, that is long over. That I remember it somewhat of as I said, when Obama, when one was speaking, John McCain was speaking, the woman came over there and was like, he's a Muslim, communist Muslim. And she said, no, ma'am. He stopped that. He took the mic. I remember that. That's very classy. Very decent, very gentlemanly, very classy. Baby, that day's over. And I'm not even sure most Republicans want that kind of Republican moment back. This is the Fox News era. They're setting the tone basically with what you see. I said it before when you looked at Florida kidnapping those Venezuelans and sending them to Massachusetts. That I remember hearing when I was a boy. I remember hearing older men talk about how, they love him so much they stole his house, and I remember that. And to see a state governor do this is that era. It is a terrifying moment to witness, because it means basically adults have left the room.